I made a video about 3 years ago, and I was wearing this orange shirt, and I don't think there's that many subscribers. That some do go back and look at old videos, and some don't, and you know, sometimes kind of hard to find it. But that video I'm looking at right now, I put it up on my front page for a little bit. It's called Jim Cramer Says Buy, I Say Sell. And the Dow, I think, was around 14,000 right then. And I'm very emphatic on selling. And I had a contact in Europe that was talking about problems with some of the European banks back then. And what happened today in the stock market? Today's June 4th, 2010. You know, it's just interesting to watch the short-term gyrations and people's reactions to short-term things. But most people don't have long-term vision. Their horizon is, well, traders, you know, seconds. Investors, maybe a few months to a year or two. And the people that say, I'm in for the long run, usually they don't understand the really big picture. But if you want to get some perspective and see where I was at 3 years ago, just under 3 years ago, I'm wearing the same shirt, and I talk about fundamental things, long-term things, and say to sell, sell, sell. Of course, you know, there's been a lot of market gyrations, but a lot of people saved a lot of money by selling back then, whether they listen to me or not. Of course, that kind of thing doesn't go over well if you happen to have a Wall Street job. And so a lot of time my take on things isn't kosher. It doesn't fit the system. You know, companies don't want to hear this. You know, I've been watching CNBC since it was FNN, back when Sue was seemed like a teenage girl, and Ron Sonnet was really young. It was called FNN. I remember watching it in the 80s. But today the market, what, down 323, and let me see here real quick. Market down 323. Let me just, you know, the NASDAQ down 83, S&P 37, down 37. So the market goes back under 10,000. And Hungary's talking about problems. And then I kind of noticed these things. A few people were talking about SocGen, Societe Generale. I've always wanted to learn to speak French, but I haven't. Some of the derivatives losses, there are rumors that they might be having. It's big picture. It's big picture. You know, gold, of course, I've been recommending it since it was 300, and then my video, you know, when gold was 666, buy gold, get rid of paper. And right now there's a controversy I'm noticing on the different financial channels, buy or not buy. We're going to have deflation at the same time, people, as they lose faith in currencies. Like my biggest video, I think, is Ron Paul Tells the Truth about currency, or about paper money and currencies, things like that. Has like 300,000 hits. You know, relative to comedy on YouTube, my videos are nothing. But as far as bottom line reality, that's why I did this. Because I was frustrated people didn't see it. And I'm not frustrated anymore. And I know now people are expecting the second wave of predictions. And it's about time, because now we're going to go through this second wave of the collapse. You know, Tim Geithner's over there in Korea, and he's going to be up in Canada. Interesting, I'm going to be up there for the G20. But we're going to have draconian financial regulation, and the DVD I'm making about is talking about that, how it's going to affect markets and specific investments with, you know, options, futures, and strike prices and dates. I'm going to talk about those things in that DVD I'm making. It's things that are just probably of interest to only people that are going to trade, or want to trade, or feel that they can have access to that kind of trading. Generally, though, the world economy, this contagion that, you know, stop blaming Europe. And in fact, all this stuff, it's so easy to see in the beginning when they were making these ridiculous loans, caveat emptor, let the buyer beware. And now they try to blame it all over the place. And, you know, people talk about the demise of capitalism. Well, the bottom line is, this is not the demise of capitalism. This is the demise of socialism. The jobs report today, which reportedly was a cause for the big downturn, and I think it should to thinking people. I mean, we had, what, 431,000 jobs created last month. 41,000 in the private sector. You have government with 95% of the new jobs. Wake-up call. You know, I had George Furtado, good job. He's reporting on people's benefits extending. Once again, transfer payments. I remember making a big case about this when I was back in school. You know, transfer payments in the end will collapse the system. And that's what's happening right now in the United States. It's collapsing our system. It's going to collapse the worldwide system because in the long run, they don't work. So, going to be interesting to see what happens Monday. These are all symptoms of long-term corruption in economics. Economy should be free. People should be able to do what they want to do with a minimum of government regulation. And so instead of that, which is the optimal way to have a good economy, is freedom. Freedom leads to great economies. We're having the opposite of that: oppression, more regulation, and there's these bullish people. It's not gonna help out. America's not going to be prospering because of more regulation and more control. It'll continue to do just the opposite until it crushes the final producers and we have one big socialistic country. And of course, we're heading towards worldwide regulation this year. This year. It's all about freedom and just enough laws to keep us from going into anarchy. But this controlling every facet of your life, even down to the whole BP thing. I mean, to have Schumer kind of trying to direct whether a CEO gets fired or not, it's like completely amazing stuff. So, this is a long-term problem. The contagion will spread. They're talking about Hungary, SocGen, gold was up $12. El fin se acerca, y poco quedando. Anyway, maybe go back and watch, if you want to, that old one. It's called, what did I call that one back in the day? It's CNBC, yeah. Jim Cramer says buy, I say sell. Talks about some of the fundamental things about 3 years ago in the same shirt. Anyway, take care, rock on.